Our opinions are our own, yes. And we truly love you, Shudder. I mean, Master.
Why did I think about retiring?
Yeah.
Retiring from your other job?
No, this job.
Excuse me?
I'm not going to, though.
Well, no, not
It brings me too much joy.
especially not on Patreon Day.
Not on Patreon Day! We have a Patreon now.
Can we have a little cheers and a clink of the glasses
Cheers
to
to
our...
Hey, salute.
Salute.
To the Patreon.
So I do
Cheers to Patreon.
I do have a question about the Patreon, though.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
I think we all have lots.
We
of
all have
questions.
lots of questions because we're not really very good at this, mostly because none of us really paid that much attention, except for Curtis, who did a lot of research. We should all thank him very much.
Yeah, research.
So what I'm not clear on, did we make a tier on the Patreon for the feet pics, or do we just send them in the Discord if somebody asks for them?
That's not a tier yet.
We've talked about it so many times that I got confused.
Well, I mean, I think if we have like a $100 a month tier, that buys you one foot each. Once a month.
I haven't seen the library of options, so I didn't.
Yeah, it's a bad tier.
Okay.
It's a bad tier. You
No,
want to pay for it.
But he's right. I get what he's saying, though. It's an advertisement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad people can
And
do
everybody
it.
everybody will see everything we post, even if they're not the correct tier.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
they'll be
what?
like, because like I posted the full video for Sentinel today
Okay.
for the folks at that tier.
Okay.
Anyone who's on there will see that the post is there, but they can't access.
Got it. It's locked.
It's locked unless you're
locked.
at $5, baby.
Yeah, it's like
Unless
all
you're a
those-
high roller at $5 a month.
Got it. Okay.
Yep, and we have our next tier in line. We just don't have the content yet to put it up, but you will be getting that soon as well.
We got all kinds of tiers
But
planned. We all got all kinds of stuff planned out.
I have one more question about the Patreon.
Yeah.
What happens if we put dick pics on there? Does it get taken down?
Are they allowed?
Are dick pics allowed on Patreon?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think
that's strictly an OnlyFans thing?
correct. I think OnlyFans is essentially the same model as Patreon.
There is a. I didn't look into it because, frankly, I didn't think we crossed those lines. But there isn't like
Of Panacea
an adult.
pictures?
There's like an adult only model on something. They're like, is this supposed to be for adults only, like containing adult graphic content or something?
We have literally been talking for
anyway.
years about sending people sexual pictures, and you didn't look into it?
Yeah, I did not.
I found a Patreon that it was graphic drawings.
Of sex stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're.
So you can do that.
I think
on Patreon.
with the inception of Discord and how often these people can hit us up now, pretty much all the time, I think they can get the access to the sexual content that they want.
Right.
You can.
Venmo me
Solicit it.
$7.
We're not. Yeah, it's
We
just
just-
we're not going to fold it in. We're not
Yeah,
going to give
sure.
to the
Okay.
Patreonarchy.
Yeah.
and they're
Send me $200 and you'll get a picture of my big toe in your butthole.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they can request special stuff. But yeah, if you're not already, join our Patreon. You get to talk to us on Discord, and we have fun stuff there. And like we say, we have other things planned for
Yep.
tiers. And really, it's just, the money motivates the stuff. So if you like what we're doing and you want more of it, you throw a little money our way and we'll do it.
So we want to do this and we want to do it more. We want to do it harder.
Right. I even have notifications set up on my phone for Discord. I don't even have notifications set up on my phone for text messages.
That's how much the
Same.
listenership means to
I
Cody.
literally don't know when these three fucks text message me, but I will know when you hit me up on Discord.
I also have Discord notifications enabled because that's how serious I'm taking it.
That's
You're
the
paying,
fourth
I'm
time
here.
you've called me a fuck today, and I'm starting to get worried.
Why? It's a term
That
of
you think I'm a
endearment.
fuck.
No, it's a beautiful term. Don't
Okay.
worry. It's coming
Right.
from my brain that's sick
Now
and
he's
twisted
now
and
he's
broken.
gaslighting you.
Welcome back to the show!
Hi, everybody. Hi, you fucks.
I'm Curtis.
I'm fuck Cody.
And I'm just fuck.
Luke fuck.
We are the horror movie podcast where we discuss horror movies largely in theme with whatever we choose.
On
Yeah.
any platform we fucking want.
Yeah,
Any
and sometimes
single
not horror movies.
Sometimes
like
not
tonight,
horror
but we'll
movies.
get there.
What the fuck are you talking about?
We'll get there.
We'll see. We'll see.
Already getting steamy.
Getting
okay.
We talk about horror movies online and then our Patreon, as you just heard, and we're going to talk about some fucking horror movies tonight, boys.
Yes, we
Because
are.
I've done a little deep diving.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
You went swamming?
I went swamming.
Oh, nice.
Went swamming in across the channel, across the pond in the English Channel, with some
the
classic
channel?
UK
Some
films,
Kenny's.
some Kenny's.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that in a little bit.
I basically didn't watch anything since we last talked.
I have no horror, but 3 movies.
Yeah.
Wow.
I take it back. I watched some things, but not a lot. Very small.
Okay.
Should I just say them?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, we'll get into it. I watched after you guys departed. I was very excited to watch Destroy All Neighbors.
Okay.
The new
Yes,
movie that was
this has
coming out.
interested me.
I was very excited to watch this movie. I had heard about it last year. Had been following it. Very excited. It is very. It is all right.
Okay.
It is very
All
all right.
right.
Granted, having said that, the reviews seem to be giving it quite a bit of praise. So could just be a me thing. It's fun, about a prog rock musician, kind of confined.
Cody,
in his
for
house.
the listener who does not understand, what is prog rock?
I think that maybe that's just you that doesn't know what prog rock is. If you have to,
I'm
not-
a voice of the listener.
It's not rock
If-
from Prague.
If I don't know what shoegaze is, he's allowed to not know what prog rock
I
is.
feel like shoegaze is a lot different.
I don't know. I think it's less. I think shoegaze is more obscure than prog rock.
Okay, yes,
I
that's what
believe
I'm
that.
saying.
I hear prog
okay,
rock all the
Curtis,
time.
Do you like the band Yes
On the
or the band Rush?
Yeah, Rush.
Okay,
And I'm talking for the listener here.
now we're talking about prog rock.
Okay,
Prog rock.
like progressive.
Progressive rock.
Okay, because I've been listening to some progressive black metal.
Progressive tends to mean
Like, isn't
you
isn't
have my interest.
isn't Hell Ripper a progressive black metal band?
I would say no, but that's okay.
I definitely listened to one that was. Which one is it, Cody?
What?
There's definitely a progressive
I don't
black.
think are you of the bands that I recommend?
Yeah.
to you?
Are they newer?
I don't think I
think so.
recommend any bands like that I would describe that way. But if you describe them that way, that's all that matters.
I describe them that way.
Then that's what they're called in your mind, and that's all that fucking matters.
that means fucking nothing.
But that doesn't matter anyway. It is a fun movie. It is
progressive tends to be categorized by odd time signatures.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
not your standard 4/4, where you can dance around to it. They have
And
bars
lo-
of 7 and 8, 16, and all kinds of weird shit. So it's very technical, very technically impressive, very, very composed, and horrible to listen to because of that.
Sometimes
Was it-
mathy is a word.
It's like if you took the joy out of music
Interesting.
and turned it into like a problem.
That sounds awful.
That's progressive
feel
music.
like that's a matter of
Wasn't
This is-
Kabellertag progressive?
no.
no.
One of their albums?
No.
But this is coming from someone who used to love progressive and listen to it exclusively.
Yes, you did. In fact, you got me into a lot of the bands.
Yeah.
and I think prog rock's cool. I like prog rock.
It's
Okay, so
impressive, but I
the
don't
film
listen to
about a
it.
prog rocker.
About a prog rocker that is just trying to finish his magnum opus, and the worst neighbor of all time moves in next to him, and he accidentally kills him, and then calamity ensues. And it is a fun time that I recommend watching if you like indie film, and it's a good time. Watch it.
I probably
lots
have
of
the same
awesome,
problem.
maybe awesome fucking practical effects. Really, 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 really cool. At that rate.
If you find out, like, I've got a new neighbor. What's he do? Oh, he's a musician. Oh, cool. What's he play? Prog rock. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You
Not
try
a
to kill
violinist.
them.
Yeah, not
The
a
opposite,
trumpet. Like,
okay.
I'd take a trumpet player
Got
over
it.
a prog rock
So the
guy.
sequel to the movie should be directed by you, and it's just the opposite.
Yep.
the prog rock
oh.
musician moves in next to you. and
Yeah.
You're the neighbor destroying the neighbors.
Yes.
And
Got
it's
it.
Alex Winter. Is in that right?
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
From Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
I believe he is the annoying neighbor.
Yeah,
Uh,
read up on it a little
oh,
bit.
yeah. It's funny when you said him, and my mind doesn't go to Bill and Ted. It goes to
What's
Lost
it go
Boys.
to? Oh,
Is he in that?
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
He has a much a much smaller role than
very
Bill and
tiny
Ted.
part.
I don't know why my brain does that and not
Yeah.
Bill
You're a
and Ted.
beautiful creature.
I'm broken.
Yeah.
I watched that. Me and our dear boy Lucas here, a wonderful man, also a fuck. Went and
See? You don't mean it nicely.
went to the Dolby.
You started with a wonderful.
Tim
But
Burton's
man.
Batman. Scored a screen with Tim Burton's. Or excuse me, did I say Tim Burton's Batman? Oh, excuse me, with Danny Elfman's score beneath it, and it was beautiful. I know, yeah, broken there.
Did the Elf Master conduct?
Was Elfman there?
The Elfman
Nope.
was not there.
Okay.
No, you would not see me here. I'd be arrested because I would have jumped off.
Oh,
from
he
the
may be
balcony.
soon as well, so that's interesting.
Why? What?
He's been accused of some sexual
Yeah.
misconduct.
Danny Elfman has?
That
Oh
is
no!
true.
Someone
That
let
is
him
true.
get close enough to.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
He is being accused. I don't know. We'll never know. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things that seems like the guy seemed weird.
This is why I
anyway.
try not to find out anything about the people that I care
It's
about.
like it's not nearly as bad, but it's like when all the Manson stuff came out. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, he's
You're
been-
surprised? He
Yeah.
literally admitted to it in his
for
biography.
years he's been
book
this guy.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, whole book. Just a whole fucking book that came out in like 99. That is just him talking about how he's a deplorable cunt. Just the whole time, over and over and over again.
We're mad now.
Yeah, right. Anyway, well, we show it's
Anyway.
that doesn't discredit the fact
No,
that the things that
absolutely
he
not.
did is not right.
Of
Okay.
course, it's just he was gross then. He's gross now.
Yes. But we watched Batman. It was what a delightful experience, and I believe Lucas, it was your first.
This is
time
my first
seeing
time
it.
seeing the movie.
That's amazing.
I know.
Surprising.
Hell yeah.
I think
What'd
it's
you
just
think?
one. It's incredible.
Have you seen Returns?
Yes.
Amazing.
I had seen Returns like a million times. This I had never seen before, and this is the movie. The other one's just cool crap. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very cool
Yeah.
crap. This is like, oh. It's weird because they're so tight on stage that you don't even notice that it's live.
Correct.
Yep.
I have
Yeah,
to remind
right?
myself,
Yep.
which is cool, but also I could just watch the movie. I keep
go to the
forgetting they're
theater.
here.
Yeah.
you kind of just want I wish like a 5-piece band would do it.
Well, they did. And on that note, they did two very annoying things to me during the screening. The first is, because it's scored a screen, they turn down. You lose some of the sound effects. So for instance, you lost the sound when the Batmobile puts its shields on. You lost all that sound, which that was kind of annoying. So some of the special effects sounds went away. But what really
right,
fucking
'cause they're
annoyed me
baked in.
is that they had subtitles on the screen.
No shit.
That's
Whole
weird.
movie.
Well, that's how I watch movies, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but I thought
that's
that
a
was
really
so bizarre,
weird choice.
Because like at
Very
first I was
strange.
like, okay, so it's the Hard of Hearing. I was like, but the Hard of Hearing came to the screening where they're playing the score.
Yeah, they
and it
got to
was
hear
expensive.
it really close.
Yeah, it was really expensive. So like, what are we doing here?
I
Right?
like seeing it.
Yeah.
I guess. Anyway, I returned. Wait, yes.
I was asking Lucas to rank his Batman movies.
Oh, good. You should.
He has a new entry now.
Oh no.
The Batman,
Hey, right on.
#1.
Right on.
Big same.
I think this is #2.
It
off
is
the rip.
It is indeed.
It is.
It
It fucking is, isn't it?
Jesus. He's wrecked.
and then Dark Knight,
Yeah. I'll take it.
I think
I'll take
it's
it.
back and
Dark
forth
Knight's
between.
great.
and then
I think it's between that and Batman Begins.
and then this is where it
Yeah.
becomes my list: Batman Forever.
Fuck yeah.
no, but you're not wrong.
Val
Batman
Kilmer
Forever like
rules.
deserves that.
You think so?
Yeah, dude, I love Batman
Oh,
Forever.
well, I
Jim
thought
Carrey
it
as
gets.
Riddler is the
Yeah,
I've never
No,
seen
we're not
Batman
talking-
Forever.
Oh yeah, we gotta
Really?
do that.
With Val Kilmer?
fuck yeah.
Oh man, it's great. I really like
I
that.
think it's the only one I haven't seen.
I know my theme for my next set of Shudcast movies is
Just Batman.
Well, why not? We don't do horror anymore.
no. Shut up, Jesus.
And
Christ.
yeah, I'm gonna get out of my house. You say one more word about Ken Russell's The Devil's. Like that.
Okay,
I'm
well.
again. They listen to it. They know. They
know.
saw the title.
They clicked
Can
it.
be a
They
great
clicked it.
conversation.
They're here. Then I watched to the two best movies ever made. I watched The Two Towers and
Okay.
Return of the King.
Nice.
But I did the theatrical cuts because I haven't
Great
watched
horror.
them in years.
Great horror movies. Great horror movies.
Pretty great. I know.
What?
Not the exact.
How badly do you miss the Osgiliath?
Immediately, like as I'm watching it, I'm like, this ain't right. Something's not right. I do though kind of enjoy like being able to finish them in one sitting. You know what I mean? It's great.
Is
What?
Austin loves Lord of the Rings now.
That's my favorite.
Aragorn? I haven't seen the theatrical cut in so long. Is Aragorn burning his hand or his mouth on the soup in the theatrical
No.
cut? No, it's
No.
not. Right? It's
That's the moment.
it's so funny.
It's
That's the
best.
part that makes you that you're wondering about.
the first. Yeah, because I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, "This is the funniest thing I think I've ever seen." When she like walks over, it's like,
Yeah, it's just like slop soup, and he doesn't want it.
I'm like-
It's so cold outside, you just see the steam just fucking raising off this
just
bowl.
burns himself.
great.
I don't know why that.
That's not in the theatrical, right?
I don't
I'm
think
pretty sure
so.
it's not. I haven't seen the theatrical. In
It's
20
kind of
years.
what's such a fringe moment that I'm not.
Fringe moment. There are no fringe moments in a Lord of the Rings film.
Okay, fine. And I want to say that's all I watched.
Holy
Well,
shit!
well, two of those things are like. When you watch the theatrical versions.
Correct. I mean, they're still 3
Oh.
hours long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was
But-
going to say two of those
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
Four.
I think that's all I managed to watch. I certainly didn't watch any other horror movies. Let me quickly consult.
Yeah,
Matt. Quite a
Pork
bit.
baby.
Yeah, no, that's it. That is all I watched. We were supposed to go see Mean Girls last night, and I had to not because I didn't feel good.
What a shame. So we watched because Kaylin wanted to Jojo Rabbit.
Okay, I remember this.
Still great.
Shiza, oopsie.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it since theaters, so I'm.
Oh, outstanding.
I hadn't either.
Okay.
It's still good.
Okay.
It holds up because I was worried. I was like, is this gonna like lose some of that Oscar momentum jitters? But no, it's great. It's
Good film.
solid. It's funny. It's beautiful. It's heartbreaking. Then we watched Maestro.
What'd you think? I still haven't gotten to this.
It's good.
Okay.
That's exactly how I felt.
You saw it too?
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
the
I-
acting is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding. I think directorially, it's really sloppy.
Oh, really?
Because it's
And-
so like it tries to do a thing that I want to work, and they just don't. They just don't do it effectively.
It's just that's exactly it. It's trying too hard.
Oh, you've seen it too? Holy shit!
It felt like
On man on
it
a
felt like a
Maestro.
string of really interesting scenes and set pieces with no real through line, or like, and then it ends, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to have taken away from
It
this.
felt like a. It kind of felt like Jim Jarmusch was trying to make a movie that was going to be made for Netflix,
Oh,
but it's not a Jim Jarmusch movie.
that is interesting.
And I really didn't care for his A Star Is Born, so maybe I just
Oh,
don't like it.
really?
Maybe I like borderline hated it. So maybe I just don't like him as a director. But
Man,
acting superb. Just it ends and you're like, okay.
interesting.
Bradley Cooper is electric.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really is.
He nailed that
Incredible.
roles out. Like it's a bummer. Like you put a different director on, I think, or even just like a different edit
Yeah.
pass or something, and I think you have something really special.
And that
But
movie had
interesting.
been in development for so
Yeah,
fucking
Spielberg was
long,
going to
too.
make it.
Really?
Yeah.
He
That-
produced it, I think, too.
He did.
right? So
he did.
Yeah.
That would have been a perfect movie if Spielberg done it.
Man.
But worth your time. And
That's-
then we watched. Definitely worth your time. Worth watching Maestro. Then we watched A Marriage Story, or just Marriage Story, as it is actually officially called, because Kaylin wanted to. I'd forgotten how funny and sweet that movie is. It's so weird. I now understand why it's your comfort movie.
Lucas is rubbing his tummy.
Before I watched it
Give him
again,
a
like
heart-
abstractly in my head, I'm like, no, it's sad. Why would you watch that? But then when you watch it and it ends, you weirdly feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It like you feel okay about everything.
I watched
Yeah.
that ending number like by itself on YouTube.
Him singing
Sometimes
the song.
Singing
Him singing the song from Company.
Yeah.
from Company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being alive.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so good.
It's funny as shit. It's brutal, hard, but like sweet, and it's okay. It all works. And it's really just, for me, it's not so much a commentary on relationships. It's more just like the system that is in place for divorce is
It's a love story.
insane. It is. It
It's
absolutely
more
is.
of a love. It's a love story around divorce.
Yes, in a weird way.
Yeah.
And more a condemnation of the process of
the
divorce.
bureaucration behind.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then the actual act of separating, because you can do that in a way that's very amicable, and but then it,
Fucking Ray Liotta.
yeah.
Oh, when she
man.
sees
Once
Ray
you get
Liotta,
lawyers in there.
and she's like, "Oh, this just became a street fight."
Yeah. It's like everything's off the table.
Like, what are we? Why are we
Just
doing
that,
this?
Just that line about, well, the system rewards bad behavior. It's like, that's what this whole movie is.
Wow.
It's beautiful and touching.
Kaylin had seen it or no?
We had.
Okay.
She wanted to watch it again. She's like, I wanted to remember. I couldn't remember.
And I texted her, and I just took a screenshot of that, and I was like, "Why?"
Uh-huh.
And she was like, "Because it's an outstanding movie, and I don't have to, I don't have a problem I don't internalize whatever."
I can watch something and not internalize.
yeah, whatever she said, right?
That's what it was.
And it was, I think you were.
That's burned in my brain now.
God level
Such a
response.
Mine,
Please,
yeah.
the way you said it.
Scott
And-
could watch something and not internalize it. And Cody's like, oh.
yeah. So then I get home and we talked for a little bit, and literally just like, because I don't even know, like, I don't even remember what it was that was said, but just like the concept of talking about divorce, I was immediately crippled.
Uh-huh.
Immediately.
Such a sweet boy.
Broke down crying.
Uh-huh.
And then she was like, "Yeah, dude, like you're never watched that. Never watched that movie." She's like, I agree with everything that your friends have said about like why you should watch it. She's like, "But you're not watching that fucking thing."
Yeah.
She's like, "It will break you." She's like, "You can't even have this conversation right now."
Interesting.
Wow, remember when I gave you a set called the Before Trilogy?
Yeah, it's coming.
Do a duology. I'm just kidding. Watch the third film, but it's hard.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be the spoiler alert.
There's no
Yeah, maybe that'll be
It's
the
just
one
harder.
that maybe that'll be the movie that makes me finally watch Marriage Story.
hell yeah.
I think
should
that
be.
one will,
You'll-
because this
you'll feel
movie
good.
doesn't start with like they're not in a good thing already. You don't like watch it devolve.
Correct.
I'm not saying
But that's kind of the stuff I think that would break you. If you see it like splitting up, you just kind of go like, oh. And that story is so specific to them that it's hard. It's hard for me to like put myself in their shoes.
Perhaps,
because
but-
they make the situation so specific. It's about a guy who's a Broadway director versus an actress in L.A. So it's like you have all this ingredients for a recipe for disaster that are very specific, and so that's why it's like. I think it's okay to separate, or you can separate yourself from it.
As the only other married person in this room.
Yes.
Do you have any issue or hard time watching this movie at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Not a moment. Okay.
But divorce doesn't scare me that much.
oh, okay.
It would suck, but you move on. People do it. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm scared for Kaylin. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And what else did you watch, sweetie?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Hot damn.
Those are my things.
Yep. Lucas.
I watched it. I don't even need to look at it because they're all very silly things. The first thing I watched is. Do you guys remember a weird comedy movie? It didn't do very well in theaters. It was called Fanboys.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've seen this film.
Yeah.
Yes.
That movie is surprisingly still funny.
It's still funny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a very weird snapshot of internet fandom.
Yeah, who was in that?
It wasn't
find
fucking.
out.
I mean, any tertiary comedic actor of his time was in that. Doesn't Ethan
Yeah.
Suplee play fucking Harry Knowles in that movie?
Ethan Suplee.
The
me see.
the large redheaded guy in the
Oh,
wheelchair.
it's better Josh Gad. Dan Fogler.
Dan Fogler.
Jay
Yeah.
Baruchel.
Every fucking time,
dude.
Mine on that, my favorite from that is the old lady. Sorry about the up yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's any given day I say that's the funniest movie ever made.
It's so
Any
fucking
given
funny.
day,
dude.
It
Yeah.
is just fucking choke.
Yeah.
It is just unreal. Go
Yeah.
back, get a shitload of dimes. It's just constant, and the ending. Holy shit, the ending of that.
As a
movie.
kid, I didn't get it at
No,
all.
of course, because it's insane. Same, but then as an adult, I'm like, this is
phenomenal.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Oh, and another one of my favorite lines that I can't say. Watch me.
Yeah.
It's like sounds like steam's escaping. Yes, it's so good.
God
It's so
damn it.
fucking good. Oh, now I gotta watch that again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
The I'm so tired number.
Oh my
too.
God.
Uh-huh.
Brilliant.
That's one that I grew
Brilliant.
up watching a lot because both my parents love all Mel Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd watch that one. It's very hard to find a movie that all of us want to watch. But Mel Brooks
Yeah.
is safe and Blazing
Yeah.
Saddles is.
Yeah, that's the sweet
Very
spot.
safe.
'Cause My
Yeah.
dad loves westerns. He
Mhm.
also loves comedies usually. But like
Right.
I love Men in Tights at that point already. So it was like, that's right
Got
down
that
the middle.
parody thing. Oh,
So-
it's so good.
Here's something I've never seen Men in Tights.
Buddy, strap in.
My dad worked on that one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
I've got a little production hat signed
Dude.
by Mel Brooks.
Oh fuck
Dude.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. Just to be clear, did you slap your leg out of anger at me or
Joy that
what
you get to
happened?
watch it.
Joy, you get to watch it.
Oh,
I
okay.
was disappointed you hadn't seen Men in Tights.
Got it. So there was disappointment in your voice.
There was disappointment.
Okay, I thought I heard it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna
Fuck.
break you.
I don't,
It's another one.
It's gonna break me?
The movie's gonna break
in a
you.
good
Why?
way. In a
Like,
good way.
You're gonna laugh a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Like, you're gonna giggle happy.
I
Yeah.
now whenever I think of breaking me, I'm like, why? They all can't be like Marriage Story. Come on.
Yeah, the divorce in Robin Hood Men in Tights is brutal.
Yeah, it's really rough.
Between
Why?
Little John and
40-minute divorce.
God, that it's unreal how many jokes are in that
Did
film.
you just get a pie notification?
Yeah.
Are you still doing that?
I'm making
Absolutely.
money, baby.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely still doing
It's
that.
probably nothing, but on the off chance that it's something.
Wait, hold on. Are you
I
guys
want
still
that.
waking up every day and pressing the button?
No,
I mean,
'cause
I
it
don't
happens
set an
every
alarm.
It happens every 24 hours from the last time you push it. So
Yeah.
I'm like on like 4 p.m.
It
now
just
every
tells
day or
me,
something.
and I think it might be time to do it.
But now you have to watch some pretty.
You can turn that off, by the way.
What? How?
Child porn?
Go into your profile. Listener, do you have pie?
Don't
coin?
masturbate to that, Lucas.
If you don't, message me, and I'll put you in my circle, and then you can be a pioneer.
and Austin will profit off of you.
No, we'll profit together. No one's profiting anything. It's
Currently,
fucking
no.
fake money, like all crypto. But one day it might be worth
Until it's
something.
not.
Lucas, you got anything else?
Yeah. I watched. Who directed it? Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis.
Blizzard
tell us.
Entertainment's Warcraft.
Oh, Duncan Jones.
Duncan
Duncan
Jones.
Jones.
Thank you.
I heard that was kind of cool.
Dude,
It's good. So cool.
I heard it's like, yeah, kind of fucking
Dude.
cool.
I want
It's
to.
like-
I was thinking about that the other day because I was listening to Black Star, still a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh,
David Bowie just,
Yeah.
it was the anniversary of his death, so I put on Black Star, still a fucking masterpiece. It's unreal that this guy wrote this thing knowing he was dying. And I was thinking about him, and I'm like, oh yeah, he is a kid. Duncan Jones. He made a movie, Warcraft. I haven't seen it. I would like to see it.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Rewind. Duncan Jones is fucking David Bowie's child?
no,
Correct.
he is. He's not having sex with David Bowie's child. He
nerdiest movies ever made, but nails it.
and it's accessible. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
I still don't know dick about Warcraft. Know a little bit more just because of ancillary things. But
That
when I
movie-
saw it,
that
I didn't know
movie
any
was
idea.
completely followable. Like
Yeah.
as far as like lore goes,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
like
It
high
got-
high
It got ripped
fantasy.
apart.
ripped apart.
But then
Yeah.
I've also heard it's kind of good.
It is good.
Wild,
I
dude.
wanna
You put
see it.
you look at pictures of the two of them next to each other, and you're like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah, they are related.
Yeah.
that's fucking wild. I did not know that. That's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
And just how good Blizzard is at animation too. It's like they were for so long, and this is pre-Activision acquisition. Say that 9 times fast.
Oh God.
They were like
Activision acquisition.
right behind Pixar, or like if not as good as Pixar. I think when it comes to CG animation, and so for this movie to have been made and how was like, oh, this is cool. Like we're gonna get more stuff, animated stuff that's this quality and not Disney.
Right.
And then
It sucks it flopped because I guarantee there'd be a Diablo movie by now. That'd probably be sick as hell. Because that world's awesome.
because like, dude, watch this movie on the biggest fucking screen in the highest quality that you can, and like look at the quality of these orc people.
So good.
Ugh.
Dude, what I saw looked great.
Yeah.
I was shocked that it
unbelievable.
died. So
They gave that movie time too. Like that movie, it
long,
costs a
yeah.
lot of money, but they gave that movie time to like develop.
I think
like,
they still
they've been
have-
working on that shit. For
I
a
think they
minute.
still have the sequel coming, don't they?
I'm
in
shocked.
development hell. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It did very badly.
Blizzard makes like no money now.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I
Wow.
paid him when I bought that game.
Yeah, and the millions of people that are paying the buying the campaign.
Well, at least that's what they
shit.
told me when they didn't hire me.
We're making no.
Like start the interview, like start the relationship that way, and let it go for like 2 years before you finally go.
Oh,
back
and
to
if I
being
can
normal.
if I can feel the conversation of if they want a raise coming, like it's like the end of the year, like reviews are just around the corner, and they're like, hey, can we have a schedule like a 10-minute thing like after lunch on Friday? I'm like, okay, we do it. And then come to my office. So what did you want to talk about? Oh, there's no money. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll leave you alone.
okay,
On to me,
I think so.
Is that the end of your list?
That's the end of my list.
guys. I did something. Take a guess at a thing you probably wouldn't see me doing normally.
Paintball.
You wouldn't see me doing that. I use paintball all the time.
But do you recently?
No.
So it was a good guess, wasn't it?
Pretty
so
good
back
guess.
off.
That was
Being
all right.
being Republican.
Good,
Curling.
good guess. Yeah, I voted for Donald Trump in the
In the Iowa
caucus.
caucus.
That's what I did.
Receiving an abortion.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good guesses, guys. No, I went to
Saying the
Guys.
N-word flagrantly and repeatedly.
Guys, we're so good at guessing stuff Curtis doesn't do often.
I went to a live comedy show.
Being ugly. Really?
Really?
Yeah, I saw Atsuko Okatsuka.
Oh, she's
Dude,
nuts.
I love her.
I'd never heard of her.
I don't know who this
She's
person
so
is.
funny.
She was great.
Where did you see her?
At the Wiltern.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
big-ass
wow.
theater.
Fuck
Nice.
yeah.
It was great. Had a great time. Jess is a big fan, so she got tickets like a year ago or something. And
I had dinner next to her in downtown LA once. She was great. It was
Oh,
great.
yeah?
We were at a Japanese place. Very apropos.
Japanese person.
Mm-hmm.
I knew nothing of her, and she's phenomenal.
I've seen her.
She's
clip.
like
She's great. She's out there.
she is. She's like I compared her
wow.
to like she's like a cross between a Muppet and a Pokemon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
that's very
it's
good.
her like vibe on stage.
Well, good.
Had a great time.
Well, if
expanded my
listeners-
horizons.
outstanding.
Yep.
If she's coming to your city, go see her.
And then basically, let's see. I watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 films since the last time we did this, and only one of them was not directed by the same person. I rewatched. I rewatched The Bride of Frankenstein for the first time in a long time.
Perfect. Almost a perfect movie.
Damn fucking fine film.
so
How
good.
dare you? Almost. It is a perfect movie.
It might be a perfect film. It's pretty close, if not. Jess is auditioning for Bride at Universal.
Oh, cool.
Oh hell yeah!
For next
So-
year's.
The on,
They have one
the
on.
ongoing.
They
Yeah.
have
Oh.
Bride. She's all year round.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bride's not seasonal.
Great. So she's doing that, and she wanted to research the film, so we watched that.
Fantastic.
Great time. It's great just seeing how that compares, especially to Frankenstein, but still like. Now I did watch the Queer for Fear documentary before seeing this, and I hadn't seen this film in probably 20 years. But like just what James Whale, who very famously, I don't think he was closeted at the time, just a queer man making these movies, how much he gets into these, you know, how much just like being the other, that's like the big umbrella sort of simple cliche, but like the gender norms between the Frankenstein's creature and the bride, and then what like the journey of the creature goes on when he finds his friend, but he still thinks he needs like a bride companion who ends up not liking him when she gets born. It's just like, this is 1935.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it maybe has never been done better.
Yep,
It's amazing.
it's outstanding.
When it comes to that sort of shit.
That's why I get so high and mighty about King Kong, because
Yeah.
it's 1933.
3. Yeah.
And it's like, this is the most perfect allegory of slavery I've ever seen. I've not seen it done better. This is the most perfect commentary on man's need to take beautiful things and exploit and destroy them I've ever seen. I haven't seen it better. And it's 1930. It's almost 100 fucking years ago.
know.
Man, it's amazing. Old shit's cool.
It's the coolest.
He reminded me of a question. May I derail this for like 30 seconds?
Yeah, I forgot.
Is King Kong too big now?
Absolutely. Well, no, because he's not King Kong. He's Kong. And that's how I sleep at night.
Okay.
Kong, Skull Island.
Yeah.
Kong.
Okay.
Kong, Godzilla, Kong. Great.
Okay.
Once he's a king,
Yeah.
I gotta see him on the island. He's got to get taken to New York. It's got to be a tragic death.
He's got to be
Honestly,
able to hang on the top of the Empire State Building.
That's to me, King Kong is tied directly to that story, which is so perfect and beautiful. Kong can be your big monkey who can punch stuff with his robot.
And
arm or
honestly,
whatever.
it's text that he is not king because he gets beaten by Godzilla. He is not the king of monsters, so he cannot
right, exactly.
demonstrably be king in any
Godzilla's king.
capacity.
Interesting. Just because I got in a silly conversation with a friend of the how big a kaiju needs to be.
Yeah, he's way. On the one subject I'm very knowledgeable on.
Absolutely. I was like,
King
I
Kong
know
and
exactly
Godzilla.
who I need to consult on this.
Then I watched 4 films directed by a man who we're going to be talking about for the rest of this episode.
Kenny Russ.
Sir Ken Russell. He is not a sir. He actually declined any of that. Wait, was that him or is that the guy from before? Might have been the guy from before. Either way,
I think
he's
you're
not a
thinking
sir.
of Elton John.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sir Elton. Ken Russell. He made a few films that are all on the Criterion Channel. I started with The Lair of the White Worm. You guys seen the Lair of the White Worm? His white worm is out.
That
Because
movie is
I
so
know.
fucking
I
wild,
want to
dude.
now.
That
Dude.
movie is so fucking weird and awesome.
that movie's great.
It's so cool.
It's early Hugh Grant. This is 1988.
And
wow.
Liar Liar.
Oh yeah, no,
No. It's the
The lady, the wife?
no, the
No.
boss.
Yes.
the boss lawyer.
yes.
That seduces Jim
Yes.
Carrey?
yes, dude.
And
She's outstanding.
she's outstanding in this film.
That's a
She's also
babe.
extremely naked almost the entire time.
Now his white worms out. Oh, there's white worms everywhere.
But this movie does some like and also young. I mean, I guess middle-ish age. Fucking. He was a doctor.
Kevorkian?
Hauser.
Strange
was
love.
in-
Doogie.
Damn. Never
He-
getting out of
Pepper.
this.
Seuss?
I'm never getting out of this.
maybe edit the part where I said heaps.
I don't know
Oh,
what that
yeah.
is.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, now you called attention to it.
Peter
Okay.
Capaldi. Yes.
Ah.
Peter Capaldi. is
Who?
in it. Peter Capaldi.
Dr. Peter Capaldi.
Fandango.
This movie does some my favorite shit. It's a straight up comedy. It's basically a farce. People act like they're snakes in this film, and it's about a lot like snake charming. And so people are like moving around like
stop.
menacingly as snakes, and it's fucking hilarious. I loved every moment of it.
It's great. I love that. fucking
Highly
movie, dude.
recommend
Why did
that
I get?
movie.
How many stars did I give this on Letterboxd?
I do not know.
I'll add it to my watch list.
And then the next night, I want to do another Ken Russell. And Jess, I was like, you should watch this one because it's explicitly about material that she's very passionate about. We watched Gothic.
A fundamentally broken movie that I could not get enough of.
When I looked up
main passions in life, she could not with this film. She absolutely
being goth?
Oh no! I mean, yes. The film is about basically
stars.
the time that Mary Shelley, her last name before they got married, Percy Shelley,
Wollstonecraft.
Yeah, Wollstonecraft got and spent time with Lord Byron, and the night that she created Frankenstein.
They all got drunk in a castle. The legend is they all got drunk in a castle and started telling ghost stories.
Yeah.
And that's how she came up with this
And Gabriel
concept.
Byrne is Lord Byron. Julian Sands is Percy Shelley. Timothy Spall is Dr. Polidori. It's really wild. Dexter Fletcher's in this movie, which is strange. But it's not a great film. She hated it. Jess hated it with a passion. Because it's like they clearly no one even tried to do any justice. Like there's readily available information. This isn't just like 2024 retrospective lenses on the story of Mary Shelley and Frankenstein. This is like y'all could have just like read anything.
Well, but then again, right? Like at least my recollection of that history is that whole night's a myth anyway.
It's a myth, sure, but it's like there's still
everything's fabricated versions of what could have happened.
Yeah, but there's still enough out there already at this point about Mary and Percy Shelley.
Oh, you mean about them as people?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, this
Yes. And it's just like, and like I get why Jess is mad at it. I gave it 3 stars. I think it's a fine time. I had a good time watching it because it's frankly absurd.
Yeah,
It was,
absolutely
like, in the most Ken Russell of ways. Not as fun as Lair the White Worm, in my humble opinion.
It's not. I don't even remember it being. Actually, no. I had a fun time with it.
And then today, because I was like, I'm got to get my Ken Russells in. I don't know if I'm going to do it after we wrap this episode. So, and I like these movies. I watched Altered States.
This has been at like the top of my list for so many years, and I've never watched it because every time I sit down to watch it, I'm like, you're too much right now. I can't do
This
that.
is the most
I
like
have seen this movie.
You've seen this film?
Yes, my dad had a copy of it for some
No
reason
shit.
on DVD, and I watched it once with him.
This was a
forever
very
ago.
popular film in that
Yeah.
for that era.
Yeah, he bought it
Amazing. Do you remember anything about it?
very, very vaguely. I remember it being a fucking trip.
It's a trip. And actually it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun watching it and seeing it's Ken Russell's take at The Fly, kind of.
Yes.
It's very Cronenbergian, whereas none of his other films that I've seen are. But it's like William Hurt plays this lead scientist in the film who is studying psychedelics and trying to get in touch with the hidden genomics in the human brain. Like, he thinks he can get all the way back billions of years to the first memory, blah, blah, blah. So he goes to Mexico where they have some hardcore shit, takes some, has a wild trip, brings some back, and develops his serum to the point where he starts turning into an ape man at night. So it's very the lineage between Jeff Goldblum in The Fly and William Hurt in this is very similar because there's also like a love story at the center of it. I had a great time with it, and because I'm also not like the trippy drug guy, like I'm not. It does a lot of hallucinogenic trip visuals, but it was creepy. It was fun. I was curious as to why either of you two, Cody and Lucas, have not seen this film yet. But,
Yeah.
It is strictly because it's every time that I've sat down to watch it. Well, first it was because I always conflated it. I always conflated this movie as being something that was directed by Jodorowsky, who I have just I've decided I'm just mostly allergic to, aside from Santa Sangre. And then every time that I went to go and watch this, since I figured I was Ken Russell, which I think was after I watched Lair the White Worm for the first time, it's just been a like, you're going to be too much. I don't have the brain capacity to deal with you right now.
I could see that. Again, it's very Cronenbergian, so it's like not. I guess look for us. I'm like, yeah,
You're talking about
Cronenberg
Altered
stuff
States?
is not. Yes.
Okay, I could tell you. I could just tell by the poster. It's like this is probably the Cronenbergian one with the upside down person face.
Like it's not a lot for us, but I guess it kind of is if you show it to anybody else. I don't feel like Altered States is too much to handle at any time.
No.
I think I've always just assumed it is, to be honest. I've just never gotten
There's
around
some
to
wild
it.
shit in it. Dick Smith does some great practical effects.
Love that.
Which are fantastic. Had a good time. That was the sort of end of my Ken Russell run, because then before that today I watched Hell on Earth, The Desecration and Resurrection of the Devils.
It's a documentary, which I was
A
very
documentary.
jealous that I didn't get around to doing today because of
Hell
work.
yeah.
I was very upset.
I'm so sorry.
But I did find out that my region-free copy of The Devils! The Devils!
Hey, gonna do a thing.
I was very
Didn't even give me a chain.
well, too bad. You didn't fast enough. I found out that my region-free copy of The Devils, because on my new region-free.
What is region free?
So,
Oh, boy.
'cause- oh boy, get ready, Lucas. Strap in.
Okay.
Most
you're
Cody
get
shit.
ready for less than 1 minute of conversation from me.
It's all about the details.
When you
You know who's in the details.
when movies
Cody.
when physical discs are produced, usually unless it's a 4K
I
nowadays,
think that counts.
they're all region locked to watch in certain territories. That's why you have imports. So, for instance, if you have a region B disc, you can only watch it on players that are formatted for the region that region B applies to.
Wait, they do this in China?
No.
So when they're cranking out our players-
not in China. Not necessarily. Oh yeah, yes. Yes. When they manufacture the players,
Yes.
they manufacture them to a standard that exists within territory by territory.
Oh, wow.
So you can buy a region. You can buy one that's unlocked, but you actually basically have to buy a modified disc player. So I buy.
Just talk louder.
I bought the modified player, or I did. Maddie got me that for Christmas. That's all I wanted.
The fucking light on?
And the
You
thing,
got like a jailbroken player, like kind of, sort of.
Alexa.
yeah, no,
like,
100% is a
turn off the
jailbroken
light.
Blu-ray player.
that's awesome.
And the way it works is that now, because like one of the impetus for this was really that I found out that if I wanted to own a copy of The Halloween 2,
Yeah.
it was going to cost me like $150 to buy it on Blu-ray, which is insane. I'm not about to do that.
Yeah.
But if I have a region-free Blu-ray player, I could spend $20, get the fucking Arrow version, and have it at home.
Is it not possible to like buy an American Blu-ray player, pry it open, and like pop off the this baby's not exactly street legal.
Take the governor
take
off
the
of it.
limiter off.
Yeah,
I don't think there's just
I think it's a little bit more than that. You
a
have
little Chinese flag.
Just a tiny.
A teeny Chinese hand. Ah, get out of here.
I
Censor.
So with this, I was very excited to figure out because I realized that I remembered that there is still in circulation or it's out of print, but you can still buy it from some stores. The Devils is uncut on disc, and you can buy it from if it's the UK copy. So I have it coming, but it will come. It's a 2-disc version, and it contains the documentary.
Oh, hell yeah. That was like the 2012 release or something?
2012 UK
Fuck yeah.
UK DVD.
Yeah.
Because Warner Brothers sucks
Yep.
and owes everybody an apology for the way they treated this property.
Would it be illegal for us to like
Yes.
start like acquiring foreign Blu-ray players and then distributing them throughout the U.S.?
I have never understood how this works. Honestly, I didn't even know that you had to have. Basically, we were buying a jailbroken thing. I thought just like a region-free player was something you could just buy. I've always just heard about them as being sold, but I did not understand that. Like, and Maddie alerted me to this when she gave it to me. That you're buying it from someone who has opened it up, modified it, and is sending it to
taking
you.
out the tiny Chinese guy.
Well, yes, right, and now you have to press special buttons on the remote control to be able to go back and forth between different regions.
Wow.
See, I didn't know that was even a thing until I was in Paris, and there was this. They kept advertising this movie, this French movie called Los Angeles Alert Maximum,
Oh.
and I was like, and then I found myself in a Virgin store, and they were selling that DVD. I was like, well, I have to buy this, and it's some really shitty indie French like poison gas movie. But they shot it all in Echo Park. But I put it on my PlayStation. And it was like, this is not your region. Would you like to switch to this region? And I was like, yeah, okay. And so PlayStation used to just do it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It'll
They
just
used to
switch
do that.
on your behalf or whatever. That's how I
that.
learned that regions existed in movies. And it's dumb.
We're about to talk a whole lot about that sort of shit tonight.
We're one world,
Yes, we
one
are.
love. Yes, I had to watch this in a very sneaky way.
Yeah.
I had to download a player to watch it.
Yeah. Yes, because I downloaded. I illegally downloaded. I should not admit to this. I don't
care. Fuck Warner Brothers.
Yeah, they did fuck that up.
I was going to say, well, if we were going to do the business of acquiring foreign region Blu-ray players, we'd probably need like the opposite of an angel investor, right? What do you think that would be called?
Devils.
The devil!
Got him. He just really wanted to throw that one in
That's
there.
why I had it. I was going to get there, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I kind of got him and he didn't even notice.
How? What?
See,
When?
watch
We'll
the
go
tape
back to the tape. We'll go to the tape.
Get fucked.
He
When?
did get you.
I kind of got. You'll see when you watch it.
I'm never gonna watch it.
Then you'll never
right.
know. You
Gonna shut this
I
bitch
mean,
down?
you do watch everything all the time.
I'll
Yes.
go first.
Last.
Great. You asshole.
We got
Second.
this. We
Those
got
are
this.
the two best, so I'm third?
We got
Yeah.
this.
Okay. We'll see what happens.
During this time, they find out that the King of France wants to come tear down Ludon. But they're not going to let that happen. Everyone wants to
And
masturbate
then
to
there's
Grandier.
this other girl that loves Grandier, and he loves her too, so they get married. This pisses off the hunchback, and so she's like, he's a devil, and he's been fucking me in my sleep. And they're like, are you a devil? And he says, no. And they're like, look, all these nuns and bitches are going crazy. And they all go crazy, and they get naked, and they suck a dick.
And then they're sucking dick and they exercise everybody. That's when he comes back from visiting the king. And then they torture him and they try to get him to agree that he's a bad person, but he doesn't. He doesn't do that at all. And they execute him. And then the nun masturbates with his femur bone in the X-rated movie, and that's done. Yes.
Yay!
We mostly got it.
Mostly got it.
That's a
got it.
complicated film.
It is
boys.
so complicated.
It's dense.
It is
dense,
it
dense,
is
dense.
difficult. It is difficult to shut down.
dense, and complicated. Yeah.
All right.
Too much politics and religion in one place, and the different
Yes.
chess pieces that are.
I
moving
was
around.
not. I guess I'll go. I was not ready for this movie
I know
at all.
You know you weren't.
I
Because no one is.
I was fucking so caught off guard with, first of all, this might be the most beautiful movie ever made.
It might very well just
It
be
is
the most beautiful movie ever made.
unbelievable to look
We used to
at.
make movies!
Those sets,
The
Incredible.
sets,
multiple times I just go, these sets, Jesus.
The-
we used to make
the
stuff.
the costuming and all of it,
Oh.
just the like, and that. It's so funny that you brought up Jodorowsky earlier because I was like, oh my god, these two have to be fighting. Like they're competing with each other or some kind
I'm
of
telling
like.
you,
just
I
like,
used to
kind of
conflate
like-
the two.
They're
Yeah.
besties or they're frenemies.
Yeah. And then so that level of visual perfection on top of we're going to do a basically kind of a historical retelling of
Yeah.
some pretty horrendous things.
For all
that have
intents
happened
and
in the
purposes,
French-
true shit.
Yep.
Wow.
Most of these, no. I mean, all these people are actual people.
Yes.
And most of the core events are things that took place. Did the king, perform a reenactment of the birthing of Venus for the cardinal of the Catholic Church? I don't think so.
It's unlikely.
But-
yeah, Ken Russell had some things to say about France.
Right, but who's to say? Who's to say?
Sure.
Right? I think he had. I think Ken Russell had lots of things to say about.
Is he British?
Yes, but I don't think he was talking about France.
Yeah.
I think he was. This is just the movie. One of this French history.
No, because here's my other thing.
No. No.
No,
He's got a point. Can't argue that.
here's the other thing, and this is probably very silly. This movie had like 3 or 4 Monty Python and the Holy Grail quotes in it, like very like perfect. Like, I don't know who's referencing who, and also these
think-
two movies happened very.
This came out
closely.
before that.
Yeah,
this definitely
it
came
did.
out before that.
Yeah, this was
But-
before.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I mean,
Idiot.
no, it's not.
So I'm saying Monty Python, I agree. I think they saw this.
yes.
And
Monty
they-
Python
and they
saw
pulled
this.
some,
I knew
like-
because I knew Monty Python's closer.
Well,
to like
and
the 80s.
History of the World. With the shooting of the peasants.
Oh yeah, yes.
Like I'm like, Mel Brooks 100% saw this movie.
Yeah.
Because it's a one
Terry,
for
I
one.
mean, yeah,
Full!
Terry Gilliam definitely started.
Full-
Yeah.
Well,
Because
it
with
makes
the "Bring out your dead," I was like,
Yes.
they said it exactly
Yeah.
like that.
Also, did you catch the Shining theme?
No.
No.
In this?
Yeah.
What?
So The Shining took from this to do that?
Correct.
Wow. Well, the score for this is
When they're like marching through the streets.
No, I didn't
There's a
catch that.
bum, bum, bum. Or is that Dead
Yeah.
by Daylight?
Oh, you're thinking of Dead by Daylight?
No.
like,
Or is it the Shining?
dun, dun,
No.
dun. That's Dead by Daylight.
No. Now it's The Shining.
Yeah, I think it's like both of them combined or something like that.
I think Dead by Daylight is Shining influenced.
Anyway, go back and watch that. That music. I was like, that's Dead by Daylight. No, it's The Shining. What is it? It's one of those two. It's one of those two, or
Amazing.
both those two.
Yeah, amazing is right. They just
So an influential movie.
yeah. I mean, it's not surprising, right? Like when it came out, it was such a it was so widely talked about because it was rated X. Right?
Well,
Yes, it was
it's like,
very.
I think my-
it's very
It
aggressive.
did very well in UK. In
Yes.
the UK.
My point of bringing up Monty Python is that they kind of coattailed on the British distaste for the French. I don't think British people in the 70s like France.
That's an interesting.
Because even in Monty Python, they make fun of French people. Like, what do you think about my outrageous accent?
I don't think they've liked each other for a long time.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, but yes.
I think there's a lot of history there. But yes,
Yes.
I agree. I think this is very much had an influence on Monty
Monty Python,
Python. I
without
mean, Bring
question.
Out Your Dead. It's come on. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it's the plague, and they were doing that, but also it's like 1-to-1. Bring out your dead. I mean, you can just see like Michael Palin laughing in the theater because it's so absurd. Bring out your dead.
And in that same scene, the alligator gets thrown out.
The
of window.
alligator is the
yes.
funniest shit I've
Used
seen.
as a
in my life.
dueling weapon.
I'm like, is it a live alligator? Is this a dead alligator?
No one knows.
The joyful chaos that ensues throughout this movie.
Hell yeah.
Doing the birthing of Venus. It's wild.
Yeah, and it's a lot. This one's straight out of Ken Russell's brain. In this documentary, he talks about how he gets asked, where'd it come from? And he's like, just Ken Russell, hilarious looking man, by the way. Unfortunately, no longer with us. But in his later years of life, he kind of looks like an orc in Return of the King. he was hard on his body, man. I don't know what to say. But he's just like, it came from here. He's like, I read certain passages of this, and I was like, notably, he read this is from the Aldous Huxley book, and then also based on a play. He read about the exorcism of Gian, and was like, this seems like this just takes place in a public bathroom. And you cut to that, and like that's just like how he saw it. So you think about the scenes, like, oh yeah, these rooms kind of look like public bathhouses to an extent.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah,
Wow.
let's just do some enemas in a public bathhouse.
Yeah.
With,
so that
with weird liquid.
with weird liquid, man.
Yeah, I listen
Is
to
it an
anything
enema?
this guy says.
Is it still an enema if it goes in your cooch?
No.
I don't know what you call
I don't.
that.
Yeah, I don't know what you
douching.
call that.
Oh, that's douching.
It's douching.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Correct.
right.
It's pretty
Right.
simple.
Thank you,
Right
culture
there.
expert.
It's right there. Thank you,
Culture
Lucas. Yeah.
expert. Yeah. This film notably banned.
Notably banned.
It was banned in Finland until 2012. It was banned almost everywhere when it came out. At least it was cut down from its original length, and we have all watched the uncut version now.
Yes.
So I read
Yes.
something today, not to derail
That's
you,
okay.
because
We'll
it
just set it
derailed
up.
me. But I don't. So brace yourself.
Go for it.
Apparently, and I did not know this. Apparently, there are like numerous uncut versions,
There's another
There's a
12
few.
seconds.
and which I was not aware of, and I'm unclear.
Look what he was wearing.
All naked on there.
That
His dick was out. That was a dick out Christ.
It's true.
Yeah,
Cocks out for Christ.
Full cock Christ. Sorry,
So I
Mom.
believe this is the extent of all the lost footage that is put back in.
here's the part that's
to the
throwing me
film.
off. So this is the cut that we have is an hour and 53 minutes in length.
Yeah.
There is apparently a cut that is 2 hours and 5 minutes in length.
I don't know if that exists anymore.
It's got to be an extended
oh.
bone masturbation scene.
Like you mean like what that existed like back in '77 and doesn't exist anymore? Period.
Maybe
I
it's just a
believe
myth.
so.
Maybe, or maybe it's just a myth. That's true.
Because this didn't get like any home release until the late 80s when Warner Brothers would put this out and put out the 90 whatever minute version of it.
Yeah.
This really truncated 98 or whatever. So I don't know. Yes, there are a lot of versions of this movie that did exist, but I think we're down to basically two.
the first version that I saw of this was like the 90-minute version.
Yeah. And look, I watched the Criterion edition.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And
Probably plays just fine.
but it still works great.
Yeah, because all that version's missing is the rape of Christ and the femur scene,
And
right?
to be fair, like you watch it, and I think the movie works so well as a story, as a character piece, and you watch it without that, and you're like, yeah, I didn't need that excess. And then you listen to like Ken Russell or any other kind of critic who is now appreciative of the film talk about it, and it is interesting because the rape of Christ comes juxtaposed with what's his fucking name?
Grenier?
With Grenier? What?
Oh, wait, who?
With Oliver Reed.
Grand Marnier.
Grand Marnier, with the Grand Marnier's like communion with Christ. Grandier, yes. Those things are cut together, right? Mm-hmm. So it is like a very interesting, as Grandier as a character, someone who really could give a shit about traditional church goings on, right? Mm-hmm. Very loose with his spiritual morals and the rules of the church. As he's coming to like a more centered path along that route, and he's away from his town, the town is devolving into something that's fucking mayhem without him there to like, even if he's kind of like undermining the church's rules, he's still keeping that group of people community together. Mm-hmm. But when he goes out and then he's relearning how to love God himself, the town's just in fucking mayhem. Mm-hmm. So like that is kind of key if you think about it that way. So like I'm bummed that people can't just see that. Like it is gratuitous and mildly pornographic, but like it's pretty clutch. Mm-hmm. I find.
What a fucking story to tell in that time.
Yeah.
Too. Because like that's our boomer parents are in their 20s. That's peak Catholicism.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an extremely anti-religious movie.
Well, it's pretty shit. I think it's ballsy in any era before 1990. I think actually before to the year 2000. I'd say.
And because this isn't just like a strictly fuck Catholicism movie. It's like we want to tell the story of this one priest who got kind of royally fucked over just for standing up against systems in place. You know, because I think that's essentially what this movie's about. Is God, now I want to call him Grand Marnier.
Grand Marnier.
Well, I see it more as just like a spiteful revenge story. Like old Humpy was just mad that he got married, and so she made up bullshit about. Well, he's a devil. He fucked me. Which I'm sure is shit that happened a lot back then.
He just had more progressive attitudes towards what the church was doing at the time, and I mean, this was my read of the movie. That these women were so sexually oppressed that they start fantasizing about Grand Marnier. Mm-hmm. And that
I wish you just stopped right there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then he just kind of like in circumstance, like just happenstance gets caught up in their bullshit. And now everyone's blaming the devil and all that stuff. And but in the meantime, he himself just wants to finally settle down with someone because I guess he's been fucking his way. He's the fucking what's his shit? I had this joke in my head. The guy from Halloween 3.
He's a Tom Atkins.
He's the Tom Atkins of fucking France right now.
Just French priest.
Just
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I think there's like a couple of different like interwoven ways of reading this movie, right?
What's interesting is I feel like what I think I find interesting about his story is he's very ambivalent. He's not even, wouldn't even call him a progressive church leader at this point. He doesn't give a shit. Like he has this line in it that I wrote down because I liked it a lot. He's asked about whether he should be doing a good thing. He should be doing good things or not. And he says, "I'm content to do a good thing and leave the best to those who can take it." Right. And so he's like admitting he's not doing the best he can, but he's just like doing good. He's just kind of getting by. He's just doing the shit he wants to do.
Yeah.
And it isn't until in a passage of the film that I feel like is very quick, and I don't necessarily buy the character shift. When he gets married to the girl, he has that change of heart, and then he goes and supposedly goes and asks the king to spare Ludon, and he has that moment of communion with himself in the mountains that I think he comes back around to realizing how important spirituality is. but he doesn't necessarily start that way.
No, he's a bad person.
He's just kind of a
he's a
shit
shit.
heel.
He's a shit heel human. He's a bad fucking person.
Yeah, but
He's
like
a
with
fuck-
good
he's a
morals.
fuck
Like,
boy.
I would say
he's
good morals,
just
but like
fucking.
He's a fuck
Well,
boy.
no, but like
he's
like
a fuck boy.
For
He's a
instance,
fuck
like
boy.
in the beginning of the movie, right?
He's
there's
very
the,
mean to that nice lady.
Yeah, there's the acknowledgement
With
that
the
he
face.
gets the girl that he gets the one girl pregnant,
the clown girl.
and she's basically like what, and he basically says, "Go fuck yourself." Get out and go. Basically says, "Get the fuck out."
and so it dies. What
Maybe
did
I
he say?
need
It
to-
was great. And so it ends.
And so it ends. Yeah.
he does. Yeah, he doesn't like. There's no sympathy. There's no at all. He just like basically just
Yeah.
casts her out.
And the
right?
way he's talking about like his feelings after like the way he talks about like postcoital bliss or the words he uses, he's like, yeah, of course in the moments after our connection, like I would feel this way, but no.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
right.
know? Like that's just how he's he's an asshole. He's a
yeah, he's
huge
an asshole.
fucking asshole.
Yeah. And then to your point, I mean, I think it's interesting that like because you're right, like the marked moment in his character development is when he gets married,
Yeah.
and then he goes off and like suddenly he comes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like it's very clear, and this is also we'll get into the performance of it all. It's very clear just how much in this film this character is the glue that holds these people together.
Yes.
Because their first
Fucking
governor, the governor, fucking look at him. Hot. The governor
beauty.
dies.
Sweaty has never looked so hot.
The other homie, the Richelieu's homie, comes in and starts tearing the city down. And the townspeople are like, what do we do? And all it takes is fucking Oliver Reed to come out and give him a goddamn speech, wag some papers in his face, and he's gone. He protects these people, you know. So he's the only thing holding.
Yeah.
And the nuns are fucked. Like they're all fucked up. They're all so repressed they don't know what to do with themselves. It's like the second that and that's the downfall of this character in the city is the second that one of them is past the breaking point is when it just that's it. It's this is the end of Ludon.
And it's fascinating to me endlessly that the past the breaking point is the man that has never even met her
Yeah.
says I don't have time to deal with this, right? And she's just so deluded that she's
Yeah.
like, nope.
Here's a plot point I need clarification on. Why did they want to take down Ludon?
So in at that point in French history, you don't have France is not united. You have a bunch of small little city states, basically.
Okay.
And the concern was what you're seeing happening is that the Catholic Church is trying to say, "Fuck the Protestants. We need to protect France from Protestant uprising."
And that's that Monsignor guy. Tell him, hey, King, can you not
Yes.
get out of your bra real quick? We need to talk.
The French governor, who's the French king, King Louis, I
King
think.
Louis the
Yeah,
Eighth?
One
yeah.
of the Louis.
King Louis, meanwhile, who's just enamored with reenacting a pagan story, right?
Yeah.
And wearing makeup and not giving really too much of a fuck. He just
Not-
wants politics.
He's not talking about King Louis from the Jungle Book.
Correct.
Different King Louis.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Back to here, though.
He was also voiced by Louis Prima, just to add some confusion.
Wow.
right.
But King Louis an orangutan. Louis Prima real.
Why did he not
Hold on.
play the trumpet?
Wait, orangutans
hold
aren't
on.
real?
Hold on. King Louis not real. Louis Prima real. King Louis VIII real.
But not this version of King Louis VIII, probably.
And not an orangutan.
Also
Okay.
not a monkey.
But he did play the trumpet,
To my knowledge.
To my
yes.
knowledge.
like very well,
perhaps.
like had
Very,
a good
very
jazz.
well.
Like
Per-
okay.
per-
No, in the
Perhaps.
film, strumpet. Strumpet is the term used for a woman with loose morals.
A strumpet?
A strumpet.
Oh, I'm bringing that back.
Yeah.
So we're bringing that
King,
back.
Oh my God, king of.
Away, strumpet!
But so what's going on?
When
is
your foul smells,
the
your devilry.
the cardinal is trying to appeal to the king because
Monsignor.
excuse me.
Cardinal Richelieu.
Well, actually, he's a cardinal.
He is a cardinal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
He
cardinal-
got traded.
Yeah, the cardinal is appealing to the king for
got
his
drafted
own
as a cub.
gain, right? Because he wants to dismantle the Protestants so that he can be a Catholic reign. The king is happy to just kind of make use of this in order to dismantle any other city state so he can
He
gain
doesn't
control
seem
over these areas.
Too concerned with anything.
No, not
He likes
too
to shoot
concerned.
his
He's
bird
passive,
people.
Yeah.
but that's
He
why
doesn't
the areas. But that's
blow
what
dudes.
that's what his benefit is in this, right?
He doesn't give
Yeah.
a shit, but apparently he made a deal with the former governor of Ludon. It was
You
like,
know,
would
he
never
cares
touch
a
it.
lot about that.
he does care a lot
He
about
really
that.
cares a lot about that agreement.
But that goes away pretty fucking quickly.
France just
Yeah.
makes so much more sense as a country now to me, knowing
After
that
this?
where they came from.
Constance, I get it.
Yeah, I get
get it.
Constance right now. I get them. Just begot from half artistic debauchery and then also stout Catholicism. And then like having like somewhere like they get mixed and now you have weird France.
Yeah.
Weird
Now
France.
you have weird. Now you have weird France.
You get
okay.
weird France.
That's the history of France, as
Yeah.
told by Lucas Long.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. All the socioeconomical things, questions that we had about France,
Yeah.
answered because of your brilliant brain.
Culture
Yeah.
expert.
Yeah,
And I agree with everything he said.
I do too.
It is true.
Yeah.
You take that weird, like, overly Catholic oppression and mix it with like French sensibility, and it's weird. It's like Japan. Japan puts out a lot of weird shit because
Yeah.
they're repressed in
Yeah.
a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
But it's on this that like I think is like what I was saying earlier. I think is so interesting about the ways you can read this movie, and that's because it's so distinctly that like the religious element and the sexual repressive element, and then the use of political theater to make political moves are all so intertwined that I think you tell just a really brilliant story about how harmful religion can be
Yes.
to just the human people because of the way that people
Right.
just use it.
Because no one's thinking rationally
Right.
at all. I mean, it's literally takes the claim of one person just saying that guy's. I mean, and it worked. I mean, it's not like they even totally bought it because it worked very much in their favor of what they were trying to do. Like they wanted to tear down this thing. This is the one guy in the way. She happens to say he's a devil. Like, yeah, I mean, he's a devil. It solves
then
the
they
problem.
used,
but it's totally irrational.
And then they used him wanting to get married to somebody and finding love against him.
well, because
Yes.
priests can't do that
Yeah.
again because dumbass rules.
Priest can't do that, and I think wasn't there something about her because she's not a member of any monastic order. I think that was something that was in there. I could be making that up. But it's I think that like that makes it so poignant, especially with like coupled against that it's all on this like pristine white backdrop. And everything is so pristinely and supremely
Yeah.
white. It gets dirtier as the movie goes on till by the end it's all just like gray rubble.
Yeah.
I'm having having one right now, just
those-
sitting here. Just a little bit of cum is just leaking out of me as I think
The
about how
fucking
brilliant
the
this
fucking
is.
KKK council.
So
That shit is
Oh,
awesome.
so that was my thought. It was like, oh, they're here.
Wow, in France.
Weirdly,
Y'all started this.
that actually is the way that certain sects of priests used to dress. I think was
yeah.
with those robes and
Priests
hoods.
don't have
That's where the
sex.
clan gets it.
That is where the clan gets it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I air my grievance?
Go for it.
Wait, a grievance.
I got a big old grievance.
Go for it.
Okay.
This is a stunningly beautiful movie. One of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life to look at. I think it's impeccably acted. Story's great. I love everything it's saying about politics and religion and chaos and paranoia and fear. In no way is this a horror movie.
Zero way?
I reject this as a horror movie entirely.
Entirely?
And now the very foundation of this show is called into question because
That's
of you
interesting.
and Ken Russell.
I think that it is a horror movie.
Interesting.
I think that the film deals in cinematic horror in its presentation, and because it doesn't play in metaphor.
You're sexually repressed?
Maybe who knows? Because it doesn't play in metaphor like in trippy shit. Like people have dreams and it's kind of trippy, but like it's not. There aren't real devils in the film. But the movie treats scenes, especially the exorcisms and the pure hysteria that go on, treats it like a depiction of Dante's Inferno. Like that's a horror story. You know, it treats like these tableaus of horror. I think cinematically as horrifying.
I have not read Dante's Inferno, but to my understanding, they do actually go to hell.
Yes,
Well-
with the thing that's called the Divine Comedy.
Well,
So that's really fun.
I
but
think-
anyway,
Well, my point
Yes,
being,
yes.
if they actually do go to hell, then that crosses the line into horror because now we're into actual devils and demons and stuff.
Well, I think we're also looking at an era of horror films that I suppose that this guess you might just fall in the school of people that don't find this. It's like a subgenre as being horror films, but it's these exploitation films where it's basically it's like nunsploitation stuff, right? Where the concept of like possession is metaphorical more than anything else, right?
Right. Yeah. There's no actual possession.
Yeah, but what you are watching that is horrifying is, and which I guess is more focused in some of the other films that I'm thinking of, is more where it's like Mark of the Devil, where it's very much like, we're going to show you depictions of torturing these nuns, and that's where like the horror lies, and a lot of the movie focuses on those elements, where this one doesn't really like focus on the torture as much, but
I see a lot of people having a good time. I see a Burning Man party. I see things that are similar to things I've seen in real life, and no one was upset.
It has some Wicker Man going on there. If you can,
yes.
Like in your fear of like being in a cult where you like don't realize, oh fuck, I'm now stuck in a cult, but I'm like,
yes, no, and in that way, like I guess for me the and let me say this again. I started this movie and I was like, fuck, I'm going to hate this movie. First of all, it took me 20 minutes to start it. I'm so sorry. Because I downloaded a player and then it was jittery. So then I downloaded...
Did you download a new player? What'd you end up downloading?
And then I downloaded a converter, but it would only convert half of it unless I paid for the converter.
VLC Media Player.
Then I found my way to VLC Media Player.
Which is what I realized today is what I have when you asked me.
And then I downloaded VLC Media Player and it played it perfectly. Okay, it was great. And it was great. But... So it took me 20 minutes to start this movie, so I'm already annoyed. And then it starts, and I'm like, is this some fucking higher bullshit that I'm going to hate? So for the first, 15 minutes, I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, no, this is actually really good. So, having said all this, I think this is a phenomenal
It's because I knew watching it, too, I was like, also, I thought about if you were going to like this, because you were not super into Santa Sangre.
I liked it.
You're right.
It didn't blow me away.
And this had so much of the same DNA.
Yes, but it's not as
weird.
Weird.
It's not. I was worried it was going to be weird for weird's sake, and it is not.
Yeah.
No.
Everything's intentional, and it's like stunningly gorgeous to look at. The acting is unbelievable.
I loved every scene that they lit to make it look like the sun is coming through stained glass.
It's
2010, where I found it as like, oh, this is one of the horror movies you need to watch. It was the Video Nasty, top of the Video Nasties list, right? And I remember watching it that first time. It was the 90-minute one, like I said, and I felt the same way. Like, this isn't scary. I was 20 years old. I'm kind of bored.
Again, we're talking
Didn't
about
really care right now, but then you see it right. So what I'm getting at is I think there was a point in my life where I completely agreed with that sentiment. Like, this is not a horror movie.
I am not saying horrific things do not happen.
Yeah.
And I think this just comes down to...
It doesn't strike you as the vibe of a horror movie.
Correct. This just comes down to what horror means to you, what you want out of a horror movie.
It is a subgenre. Like, because I think this qualifies in the event of extremity. Like, there's some extreme shit in this film. Like, the torture shit's extreme.
Yeah.
The
nudity and the sex.
Oh, here's one of the most extreme things. The scene where Ludon starts to blow up and everyone is on that set.
Buddy.
I was like, oh my God, everyone was in real danger.
They had to do that twice.
Oh, no.
So, in the documentary, they talk about this. So, they did it the first time.
Someone died.
Dudley, not to my knowledge, the guy who plays the lieutenant of Richelieu, actor's name Dudley.
The guy with the short curly hair.
Yes, he was supposed to give the cue to blow it. Like, he does a look, says a line, can't remember which, gives the cue to blow it. But if there wasn't a stunt coordinator with the trigger, it was Ken Russell, the director. He said, "I want the trigger." Which is something
I'll say when it blows up.
He pressed it way too early. They didn't talk about anybody getting hurt. I didn't dig any deeper into it.
Oh, so he's like,
But-
midline, we're gonna get real.
he just was not. He was doing
couldn't
too
help
much,
it.
and he hit the fucking thing. They had to come back a couple months later and reshoot it.
Wow.
But yes, phenomenal. Movies used to be great, and that people were on these sets and they're exploding, and it's the coolest shit.
Like I talked about when I watched The Mummy, and I was like hit
Yeah.
with that. Like, fuck,
People on horses.
there are people on horses right now, which is so stupid now. But it's like, no, we don't have that now. It's all computers.
yeah.
This was that too, of like just seeing a grand scale thing
Yes.
that is done in camera is the coolest shit that
Always.
exists.
Always.
And we should always
the
do
amount of
that.
people in this movie is awesome.
It really is. I wish that both of you could have been there to see the look on Curtis's face the first time that he saw this movie.
Oh yeah.
You were there?
Yeah, I think his mouth was basically just resting on his penis the entire time. Just
We were naked.
You can do that.
mind blown, just gorgeous. I think the whole movie he kept going sets.
It's unbelievable. It's stunning. Stunning to look at.
To be a little fair, like a barn that looked like this set. Like that was like how he found him.
Amazing.
He's like, oh, this guy gets it.
I did laugh a little when main exorcist guy shows up.
Father Barre.
And he's
yeah.
the most 70s looking guy you've ever seen in
that
your
was so-
life.
yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was my-
you can't get him to at least lose the linen glasses.
That's what I
It's
thought.
just
I was
like
like,
70s.
interesting. Interesting that they got the guy that looks like he's the most anti-religion to play Father Bah.
Yeah.
I know. It's like we can't slick this back or
Magic.
something.
Yeah.
It's just
Magic.
like it was just that's the only thing that took me out of the movie a hair. Just like this
is.
is the 70s.
But
Yeah.
This is very much the 70s.
That's why I love it so much though, because like because like the guy shows up and you're immediately like, oh, this guy's gonna do weird shit.
Yeah,
like
he is.
immediately you're like,
He-
this is gonna be weird.
And
right?
it took Jess out of the film because of that anachronism. Like he's just too modern. But like you see him and you're like, this guy means nothing. Like he is a joke.
yeah,
and
he
he's
is
gonna
a
do some awful shit.
But even him, I thought was like an artistic choice.
so much of it is like right, like there's so many little like modern moments like that are like the chairs at one point. Did you guys like clock how weird the chairs are that they have them sit in? They're like metal wire chairs.
No, I didn't
that
see
look
that.
like modern art almost in one shot. It's like this fucking
I did not clock
wild
the
and
chairs.
random.
Great.
Well, just even just all the architecture in the place was too modern for the time. So it's like now we're just doing this.
Well, and right, and that's the other wild part about like to your point on the architecture, right? Is like the way that looks like this is supposed to be like a city, but like I've never seen
Yeah, this
anything
is
that looks like
1600s
that ever.
France,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
But even like you look at find a picture of a 1600s castle in France, right? It doesn't.
it's
look
not
like
in
that.
white tile.
No, yeah, right. It's bizarre.
Not an OR.
I mean, again, the king starts the movie in a fucking coconut bra.
Hell yeah.
Just the weirdest
to be
shit.
fucking fair, I feel like that probably isn't far off from some
Probably
reality.
not. But the coconut bra,
I don't know, man.
I
just
believe
the
it.
coconut
France,
bra part.
like
A
Versailles,
coconuts?
like
A Louis?
they fucking,
Yeah, that's a
they
good
got
point.
whatever they wanted,
Yeah, that's-
man.
One of the gay Louis, I buy it.
That's a good point. I buy that. But the point being is that it's just like these such just like gaudy, random, out of left field shit that they're doing in there. That's so.
I love it. I love the
Cool.
art of it.
That
I
must
love the
that
art
must
of
have
it.
been why they went that way, to separate it out and
I think
in my mind is to just be anti-gaudy, because that's where France was. The
Versailles?
big opulent palace stuff that's going on everywhere else. It's like, no, this is like an isolated place outside of
Right,
the rest
it's
of
not
France.
Versailles,
Yeah, it's not Versailles. It's
And they don't like that.
It's all Christian. Everybody's gonna wear white except for the sweatiest, sexiest man on earth. God
Do
rest.
we want to talk about these performances?
I want to just quickly
They're so magnetic. Like,
yes.
if it was you put someone else in this movie, I maybe don't like it.
Maybe there's a good chance.
Like
this-
like it is so teetering on the edge of like fuck you for me, but he is such magic to watch. I'm like, I am in. I am with you.
It is my favorite performance by any actor in
my
any
axe!
film history.
hear that?
In history, is that just his performance? It is
that's top 5 like ever.
it's incredible.
Ever.
Vanessa Redgrave, incredible.
She's so good.
There isn't an actor in this movie that isn't just fucking murdering it, right?
Right.
But Oliver Reed just being the sweatiest, sexiest, gorgeous man that he is.
mustache.
That mustache never has. When they shave all of the hair off of his head and face, he's still.
It's a crime,
I
but
got
it's
a story
crime.
about that too. So they
What?
shaved all of his hair off his
Sure,
face.
I would assume.
Off his head. Apparently, just before they did so, Oliver Reed, a noted barfly, was at a bar
Yeah.
and was told that if you shave your eyebrows off, it won't grow back. So his manager, who was his brother at the time, suggested to the production that they take out an insurance policy on his eyebrows. So those eyebrows had $1 million insurance policy on them.
That's amazing.
That's
Incredible.
amazing.
Yeah.
During Gladiator?
It was during
Yeah.
during
Yes.
the production. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
Oh, I thought I was going to come with this story thinking I was the only one that knew.
I don't
I
know
didn't know
anything
that.
about his death.
So he died during Gladiator, and so Ridley Scott ended up having to do like some pretty like movie magic stuff and CGI. There are fake Oliver Reeds in Gladiator.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one of the last scenes when he's giving the keys to Maximus. That is a CGI masked Oliver Reed.
Wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And did he die of anything
So
weird? or just-
he promised Ridley Scott he would not drink during production, and the way he promised that was he was only going to drink on weekends. He went to a bar. Where were they film? They were filming it in some very
Rome.
no.
I'm kidding.
I don't remember either.
in the Coliseum, duh.
Some place.
I saw it.
So he ends up in a bar where there are sailors.
They didn't CGI anything. They filmed it in the Coliseum.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Idiot.
He ends up in a bar with sailors, gets in a drinking contest with sailors in a bar, dies on the floor.
Has
Really?
a heart attack and dies.
Yeah.
Literally drank himself to death.
Yeah.
His.
And I was like, I think Oliver Reed is the
I'm in Gladiator. I'm like, that's the oldest man alive. One, he looks fucking awful.
Yeah,
he,
he does.
did not treat his body well.
Right.
But
He is more than 10 years younger than my father.
He should still
In
be
that
here
movie.
today. Like
Yeah.
theoretically,
Yeah.
we'd
Oh,
still
yeah.
have Oliver Reed
For
kicking
sure.
around.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Jonathan Harris.
and didn't realize-
Jonathan Harris also dead, but Jonathan Harris looked old as fuck in that movie.
didn't
Oh, yeah.
realize that there are some questionable brown skin moments of Oliver Reed in Gladiator.
What, he doesn't
Oh.
like
They have
them?
him, huh?
What do you mean?
Like they have him dark,
Bronze
like
the
darkened.
skin out of him.
Yeah.
Oh, they
just-
bronzed him?
Yeah.
Why? Maybe he's just a tan guy. I don't know.
I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah. Have you seen my wife in August?
True.
She is a tan lady. That Turkish heritage.
Yeah, and Cody, you've done a little bit more Oliver reading than I have. Oliver reading. I need to do some more of that because again, I mean, I've seen The Brood, so I'm familiar with him there.
He's great. God, he's so good in the Brood.
Oh, that's right. He's in the Brood.
Yeah. Burnt Offerings. His performance in Burnt Offerings is just magnificent. He's in a movie called Paranoiac, which is pretty fucking wild and weird.
The title's wild. I hate
Yeah,
it.
he's outstanding in it.
It sounds like you're saying paranoia and then like a fly through it.
Curse of the Werewolf, old
Oh,
Hammer
sure.
movie. He's great in that. That Curse of the Werewolf is maybe his. Like I think that's probably as far as like horror movies go. I think that's the one that he's the most well known for. He's really fucking good in that movie. As far as like outside of that, like there's one that I watched not that long ago.
kind of the leader of the performing the ceremony.
I think he plays like the opposite of this.
Yeah, basically.
I think he plays like the
Yeah.
guy that killed him in this.
Yeah, basically that. It's been a while.
But without the sexy 70s glasses.
And that one priest, who if they remade this would be played by Ezra Miller.
Yes.
Oh,
like,
the bowl cut?
It's like confess,
Yeah.
confess,
Yeah.
and then like leaves religion because of it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Isn't Ezra Miller a shitheel?
Yep.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. God awful.
That was the other Monty Python line.
Ezra Miller?
No, going confess, confess. when they're doing the Spanish Inquisition stuff in Monty Python and they're poking him with the pillows. Do you remember that scene?
Yes, of course.
Same delivery, same exact delivery. Confess.
Yeah, they saw that movie.
Yeah.
100%.
Love it.
Should we rate this bitch?
You got anything else you want to say about Ken versus the Devils?
We're ready to rate.
We're ready to rate.
I feel ready to rate.
I give this movie 100 enema douches.
What?
Because as much as that doesn't sound like a good time, and it probably isn't, this movie is a great time. And Oliver Reed puts on my favorite performance of any actor in film history as far as the movies that I have seen. But I haven't watched Marriage Story.
That is true.
So, or most dramas.
I give this film one hunchback nun because it's beautiful, but it doesn't belong. Because this isn't a horror movie. No, I love this movie. I think it's fantastic.
Beautiful, but doesn't belong.
Yes.
You're a monster.
I know. But I stand by it. It's a good joke.
That I'm only laughing at. It makes me feel bad.
If that offends, if that offends you, subscribe to our Patreon, and you can message me on Discord, and we can talk about that. This movie is stunningly gorgeous to look at, impeccably acted, wonderfully directed. It's one of the better movies I've seen. For me, it is not a horror movie, but that's okay. Sometimes non-horror stuff's good too, but not on this show.
While I disagree with some of that, I will give this film a maybe real alligator because maybe really this is one of the best movies ever made. Straight up.
It is. It just is, but it's a fake alligator.
Straight up. I love it so much it hurts.
Real quick, I do want to bring up the two doctor guys.
You had your chance.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're great.
Yes.
Yeah, they were so good.
They're awesome.
We didn't get to talk about those guys, and I just want to bring them up real
And they're
quick.
dumb. They're
Great.
dumb, old-timey alt medicine shit.
with-
Oh, when
my
he starts
God.
listing down the old medicine things that they've been doing up until he's like, and now hornets!
Yeah.
And like in a scene that could be played as like pure comedy.
Absolutely.
It's pretty funny and it's ridiculousness, but the Oliver Reed delivery of that,
Again,
you're like,
when I start hearing "Bring Out Your Dead" and then it goes into this, I'm like, "Are we in a comedy?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, I give Ken Russell's The Devils 1 hour long act of cunnilingus on a Oliver Reed side gash.
Wow. If that is
Beautiful.
words spoken from the mouth of Oliver Reed in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, you think mine was a problem?
side gash.
Also a picture of Oliver Reed on the cross where Jesus should be, because it's just so fucking beautiful. And I want it and want to do it over and over and again, Everyone needs to see this movie. I think everyone needs to see this movie, especially if again, this is one of those movies, and I've talked about this before. I am an old devout Catholic. I was part of the game for a long time, so these kinds of movies really speak to me, and why I fucking left, because the Catholic Church is awful, or where it came from is fucking awful, and this is a movie that tells you these people were fucking terrible, and you need to watch this movie because this is the most artfully told ways to be told that.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
Showcast approved.
Shudcast
Yes.
approved.
Approved. Last thing about it. The awful people being Warner Brothers, the Brothers Warner.
Yes.
What
Why
drives me
isn't
so
this
fucking nuts
released?
about this is, remember that the nuns are in Space Jam 2? Do you guys fucking remember this?
Yeah.
Put the fucking nuns in Space Jam 2.
I think I screamed about this on an episode.
I didn't
Yes,
see
we
I
have. We
didn't
talked
see
about
Space
it
Jam
in like
2.
the crowd of the people that are at the game.
They
Yeah,
have
'cause-
the nuns from
Yes.
the Devils.
Yes, dude. And,
Yes.
and they have the Droogs from A Clockwork Orange.
which is like a fucking.
It's a children's film.
It's a children's film, and like theoretically, like my lizard brain's like fuck yeah, but at the same time, like no, Warner Brothers fucking won't put this movie out.
Yeah, why is
Because
this?
they owe some blood curse to an ancient fucking consigliere somewhere or whatever.
Yeah, why won't they put this out on 4K?
This is
crazy.
This is going to be a mini episode of just Space Jam 2 rage.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I'll watch it
Dude.
just for that.
Dude.
Do you want to hear that episode? Make sure you're on our Patreon.
Let
'cause
us-
that's going to be an exclusive one.
And then tell us on Discord.
Austin, it's your turn.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to right this ship. I'm going to steer. I'm going to correct this ship.
What's the theme again?
Y'all motherfuckers need Satan.
Y'all motherfuckers need Satan.
And when I hear y'all motherfuckers need Satan, there's one movie that reigns supreme in my bones, in my heart, in my soul. And it is a movie that reigns so highly supreme that they have decided to put out a prequel to that movie. And that prequel is coming out in April of this year. So in preparation for that prequel coming out in April, we're going to watch what I'm pretty sure might be the greatest satanic antichrist movie ever made. And it is a movie that also has, by and large, the scariest music of any movie ever made. And that movie is none other than The Omen.
Which works great because I
Fuck
just
yeah.
bought the box set.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I'll watch all of them.
And we
yeah.
can get
Before
tidbits
Tuesday.
on all the Omens.
Fuck yeah.
So watch The Omen and join us next time.
Yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers need Satan. Y'all getting Satan.
Y'all getting a lot of Satan.
For this.
Y'all getting to get some real ass Satan right now.
Fuck yeah. Thank you so much for listening, being a patron, being a
Follow
future
us,
patron.
subscribe, join our Patreon, please God. Tell your friends.
Tell LeBron James.
Tell LeBron. Let's build a fun thing here.
You want to see pictures of our feet? Gotta be pictures of our feet.
We'll
Sure.
do it. Find us on Discord and we'll do it.
And we'll talk to you about The Omen next time.
Next time.
Excited to watch The Omen 3 with Sam Neill.
Bye,
Dude,
love
my
you.
blood pressure is so high right now. I'm so fucking.